For another episode of Fantasy Football News with Smitty on the Fantasy Football Show. We've got a lot of things cooking and brewing in fantasy football heading into this Friday afternoon. We already know about Todd Gurley landing in Atlanta. Now we have Melvin Gordon landing in Denver. What does that mean for both players? Who are you drafting in 2020? Intro.
Top 5 running back. You're watching the Fantasy Football Show.
Take a lap. What is up, everybody? Thanks for joining me. I'm Smitty. Hit subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. Same handle right here. Let's get to the 2020 fantasy football season, and let's start now. I don't wait around. I do rankings, mock drafts, all that with you guys constantly all year long. And with this coronavirus stuff, what better way to get your mind off it while you might be working from home? You're working remotely. You've got time to spare. Stay with me. I've got your back. We're talking fantasy football all off season. I'll be here for you. I've been live on Instagram for like 3 or 4 hours a day, on and off, all day long. I try and go on YouTube at least once for an hour, hour and a half, so that I can give you guys something to talk about. And boy, do we have something to talk about. We've got Melvin Gordon. Let me bring up the graphics one more time. Melvin Gordon and... There it is. Todd Gurley. Where you at, Todd? Melvin Gordon and Todd Gurley. Where are we ranking these guys right now in fantasy football? I'm not going to lie to you. There could have been a better landing spot for Melvin Gordon. But let's take a look at this from a objective perspective. Philip Lindsay doesn't feel like a guy that's going to be in this league for 3 or 4 years at high-end running back 2 type potential. He had a good opportunity. He took advantage of it, but clearly they don't believe in him enough to say, hey, we don't need to go get a big name running back and pay a running back a ton of money. Teams don't pay running backs a ton of money these days unless they really, really want to ride that train. And I think Melvin Gordon is going to be utilized quite a bit. It's a good offense for him to be in. They can be efficient, and I think that given that Courtland Sutton's about to take a step forward, Fant will be much improved. Locke is supposed to be pretty good passer. I'm not sold completely yet, but this move certainly makes him potentially more efficient to start his young career off right. I think Sutton's going to keep defenses honest and stretch the field a little bit. And I think Melvin Gordon, they wouldn't give him this, $16 million deal with $13 million guaranteed if they weren't going to put some mileage on him. They should run enough to warrant some Lindsay usage, but you don't bring a running back in at that amount of money and not give him starter carries. So I'm torn. The objective side of me is like there's pros and cons to this. I've drafted him already in the 96 team league. A few of us have. 8 of us have. And I can't say we're all going to be super, super pumped about this initially, but he could definitely score a lot of points in Denver if they use him properly. Using him properly is the only concern. On the other side of the screen, we have Todd Gurley, cut from the Rams, which a lot of people said wouldn't happen given the money ramifications in that release. But 1-year deal, $5 million. It's not a bunch of money for a guy that just got a boatload of money just not a few years ago. It's a good situation. I would have liked to have Melvin Gordon land in Atlanta. Why Melvin Gordon? Why these two didn't switch is beyond me. Like, I would have rather had Melvin Gordon sign here, and I don't know what Atlanta was thinking, not bringing in the guy that has more mileage left on the tires, more tread left on the tires, more mileage capability, I should say, in Melvin Gordon. This guy right here, Todd Gurley, is working off of one knee, degenerative issues in his knees, and the inability to tote the rock 20 plus times a game. Melvin Gordon can tote the rock 20 plus times a game. This guy right here cannot. I don't know why Atlanta wouldn't switch this up. So I'm going to be honest. I'm not super excited about the landing spots. But Todd Gurley's got a good one, but does he have enough left in the tank? I don't think he does. I think that Todd Gurley could be efficient and do well at times, but he can't carry the football even 15 times a game up the middle. There's no way. So they may draft another rookie to pair with him. I just don't know. The move's not a very costly one. I guess it's cheaper than going this route. But this tells me money-wise, financially, that they're invested. This right here, they're cautious, and the opportunity's better. That's the breakdown. Unfortunately, guys, in fantasy football, we can't control everything. And the better opportunity is over here with less commitment because they don't necessarily know what they got. So they're not making a huge mistake. They didn't want to pay more money. $13 million guaranteed right here. But this situation isn't quite as good from the outside looking in. But that could be, I think, something that's very deceptive. And at push comes to shove, at the end of this year, we might be looking at Melvin Gordon scoring some decent points in 2020, sum total. At the end, week 16's end, this guy could have 1,200 yards and 8 touchdowns. There's a reason why the Rams... MT says, let's put MT's comment on the screen. There's a reason why the Rams ate Gurley's cap hit for 3 years. Exactly right. Because they know he doesn't have it left in the tank. What's up, Talker? You going to work, Talker? We'll see you, man. Gordon didn't hurt Eckler, says Cat Fan. Eckler's going to get a lot more rushing yards even. Without Rivers, we might see less receiving yards. There's a reason. I already got that comment. Gordon puts a thorn in Lindsey's value. Larry, that's an understatement. You are correct, but that is an understatement. We're talking about a big time hit to Lindsey. Lindsey's no longer even like he could be like flex worthy, but he's a Kareem Hunt. As Kareem Hunt's a backup, Lindsey's now in that category. I like Hunt better than I like Lindsey at this point by a lot. Kareem Hunt's one of my favorite sleeping giant players you draft on your roster and you hold them and you can even use as a standalone flex. We're assuming he's in Cleveland. Maybe Hunt lands somewhere, but that's a lot more unlikely at this point with that tender. But Kareem Hunt is more valuable than Lindsey in 2020 and beyond, especially beyond. But definitely a thorn in the side. Maybe about 15 thorns, Larry. Again, Talker, go work. I'm glad you're able to go to work, Talker. What line of work do? You don't have to tell us exactly what you're doing or where you're going or your address, but we would love to know what you're doing. Are you in the medical field? What is allowing you to go to work right now? Because a lot of people can't go to work right now. And this is a crazy time. And maybe we'll talk about, let me kill the music. Maybe we'll talk about that coronavirus a little bit. What's up, Larry? Didn't say hi to you yet, but I did read your comment. Nick, nice pun, Smitty. Ramifications. Yeah, the ramifications might be that Darrell Henderson gets unleashed, or they could screw this up again. What's up, Cat Fan? Watson demanding a trade, ? We shall see Patriots trade for him. That would be freaking amazing. Watson requests a trade from Houston. Oh, they're capable of anything. They'll trade him away. Now we know it costs to get an elite player from Houston. Somebody get on the phone and dial this guy up. Washington, dial up Houston right now. See if you can get rid of maybe an extra roll of toilet paper, a couple cases of TP, maybe an old warm ham sandwich, and see if you can get Watson throwing to McLaurin. Make it happen, because Houston's giving away their players. What's up, Royal? What's up, JP? What's up, Russ? And, of course, MT. I already talked to you, but I'm glad to see you all here. Jake, with a question. Big Jim with a question. I'll toss your questions on screen. Augie, you're a teller at a credit union. Talker, we appreciate your dedication in getting people the money they need to go buy the toilet paper that's not on shelves. Talker, you are a hero right now going to work in handling money and dealing with all that so people can get income or can get their income out of their bank account and use it on goods and services and everything. You are the man, Talker. Go get Henderson. Oh, damn, I let's see, who is that? Jake? Put Jake's question back. Go get Henderson. Yes, JP. But don't be surprised if the Rams screw that up. Larry, LOL. Thank you, Larry, for laughing out loud. And Talker, before you leave, I feel bad for people who drafted Royce Freeman in Dynasty a couple years ago. Yes, I agree, Talker. Could Lindsey be Eckler possibly? No. I got my Dynasty draft this Sunday. Any tips? Yeah. Drake, Eckler, Mahomes in the second. Don't be afraid of it. If it's auction, don't be afraid to buy him. 10 years, you get with this guy. A decade. Don't be afraid to build around Mahomes. That's my advice for you. Okay, if I missed any other questions, please post it below. I'm going to read what I got here. I got my first... I just read that one. I'll give you more tips in a minute. Jake. This is the craziest offseason I can remember, and that's before accounting for the virus. Glad Gordon didn't wind up with the Bills. That would have been worse. I love me some Singletary. Okay, Jake. Jake, you're right. I'm glad as well. Belichick on the phone with Houston. Oh, dude, that would be sweet. Watson to NKeal Harry. Give me some. Dial it up. Watson to NKeal. I love that shit. Give it to me. Augie, I hope it happens, my man, to New England. That would be amazing. Oh, God. That would be fantastic. Deshaun Watson drops back, passes to NKeal Harry for 10 years straight. 10 years straight. NKeal from Watson. Dynamic duo. JP, what's your honest opinion? Don't be a homer. What's your honest opinion since you're a Pats fan and you watch Pats games? NKeal Harry showed a lot of promise at the end of the year. He was hurt. We can't judge him for being hurt and banged up and not used properly because they tend to do that. They'll use you or they won't when you're young in New England. There's a lot of moving parts going on around him as he was trying to progress and mature. I think NKeal Harry showed dominance in a short, small, tiny window. But he looked fantastic. And he has the physical tools to be the next Calvin Johnson. It's just all about opportunity. But I'm not going to lie to you, JP, or anybody that says, Smitty, you said NKeal Harry would be a stud. I'm not going to lie to you. There are still question marks about whether they want to use him properly and put him in the spotlight. There's a very good chance they don't understand what they have. Now, what would be horrible is if they traded NKeal Harry for Watson. And Watson lands on the roster and I'm like, and they just pass each other by. Then we don't know who would be thrown to him in Houston. But I guess that wouldn't be horrible if they drafted a rookie and they started to build around NKeal and a rookie. But I'm just saying, watch out for Harry the next decade. Okay, JP, so I'm glad you're able to give me that answer because I know you're on the ground in a sense over in New England, given that you watch all the games. You're dialed in. NKeal Harry, I've got him up on my skateboard sign up here that I put in the studio and cemented into my studio permanently. NKeal Harry's not leaving. He will be my scarlet letter. I will keep him up even if he fails. Because I had such big predictions you won't find anywhere on NKeal Harry. And I stand by him. I stand by him because talent is talent. I see it. But the opportunity, we don't know what's going to shake out. What's wrong with Bill O'Brien? He had his trade proposals vetoed, and he kicked out any fantasy league for being an idiot. Bill O'Brien, he'd have his trade proposals vetoed, you mean? Yes. He would. Any league he was in, he'd be kicked out for ruining the league. Bill O'Brien doesn't know what he's doing. He either has CTE or something going on, because no one in their right... Who in their right mind let him get away with that, though? That's more my question. Even if you have a wild, person making calls at a top level, who's signing off? Like, there's got to be some checks and balances in place. You can't just press a button and send DeAndre Hopkins to the Cardinals for a warm ham sandwich with moldy cheese on it. Like, you can't just press a button and do that. There's got to be a signing off, a check and balance process in place, and it's a bunch of people's fault, not just one guy. So you can rip on O'Brien, but it's everybody in that organization that let that happen. And if you're a Houston fan, you probably, especially if they trade Watson for like a second or third round pick, or they do something crazy with Watson, and they're like, we're in rebuild mode. Rebuild mode? You can rebuild around Hopkins and freaking Watson. And if you are in rebuild mode, why are you trading for DJ, who's done? I don't understand this. And if they think they're in now mode, because they didn't say they're in rebuild mode, I'm trying to, like, if they get rid of Watson, I imagine them saying something like that. If they're in win now mode, why would they won't consider trading Watson even if he wants out, but why would they get rid of Hopkins? Why wouldn't they go, are they going to replace him with some wide receiver? Are they going to think they're going to do good just by bringing in Emmanuel Sanders or something like that? It's not going to be the same thing. Larry says his trash can could outsmart O'Brien. Probably, Larry. In your opinion, who will be the best wide receiver from the 2019 class? You got a lot of options. Brown, Metcalf, Harry, Renfro, and McLaurin. Look, if you follow me at all, Augie, and I know you do, you know the answer to this. It's A.J. Brown, top 5 wide receiver. I might need to put that in my intro videos. Top 5 wide receiver instead of top 5 running back. Where is this?
Top 5 running back.
We might have to put top 5 running back and wide receiver and show a picture of A.J. Brown in the intro. A.J. Brown, people. The next top 5 wide receiver. But, McLaurin, and you forgot Hollywood, unless you meant both Browns, but you put one Brown. Hollywood, McLaurin, NKeal, these are all good wide receivers, guys. This 2019 sophomore wide receiver class, don't be thinking that this one can't outperform the current class that's going to be coming into the league. I personally would rather have the 2019 class than the 2020. So, Cat Fan says keep it top 5 running back. I probably will keep it in there, but maybe we throw in top 5 wide receiver as well. And we're referring to A.J. Brown. I feel bad for the Bills fans if Belichick gets Watson. Yeah. I traded Jordan Howard and a second-round pick for Diggs. That is a fantastic move, big dog. Dropping it like it's hot, buddy. But to answer your question, Augie, A.J. Brown. But don't be shocked if McLaurin's a top 12 wide receiver, maybe top 10 for the future. Don't be surprised if Hollywood Brown dances in the 9 to 15 range. Don't be surprised if DK doesn't have the longest career because of his size, the toll that's going to take on his frame and the way he's built. But don't be surprised if Metcalf has a top 12 fantasy wide receiver season for 2 or 3 years. And Harry could be as good as any of them. This class is crazy good. 2019, the sophomores, I freaking love them. I need to do my super rookie rankings. Maybe that's what we do on the show Saturday night, or maybe we do it now. I could kind of maybe do it now. Let's do a set of let's do that, and then we'll call that a show. Let's do a set of super rookie rankings right now. Let's do it now. So super rookie rankings, guys. I've coined that. My super rookie rankings are the current rookie class and the sophomore rookie class. So every year it resets and we kick out a class and bring in a class. So you can only be in the super rookie rankings for 2 years. So all the rookies last year, that was their first year being in my super rookie rankings. The sophomores all graduated to become third-year players in the NFL. They're kicked out. So now we're going to rank this year's rookie class. Today we're only going to do one. We'll do wide receivers. We'll do this year's wide receiver class ranked with last year's wide receiver class, and we rank no one else in it, just those. So we're going to start it off right now. Super rookie rankings, let's go. Number 1. I'll get your votes, but I'm going to make the final call. A.J. Brown. I even have him over Jerry Jeudy. Sorry. But he's the number 1 rookie wide receiver out of both the 2020 rookie class and the 2019 rookie class. Who do you have as the number 2? Do we put Jerry Jeudy there? Jerry Jeudy number 2? Who has more value, Ingram or James Conner? Ingram. Savvy wants to say that didn't I say Smitty Gordon was all over the news for Denver? Yes. Good job. There were a couple people saying that to me too in my Instagram post when I talked about Gordon, and I'm like, no, I don't see it happening. It shouldn't have happened, to be honest. I don't know why they would go after Gordon, not address other needs versus. But I mean, I like it from a football perspective. I like it from a fantasy perspective. It's going to grow on me, and I think it could surprisingly shock everybody and be okay. But there are some risks. There's a risk factor to it, but. All right, Jeudy number 2. Jeudy number 2. We're not doing running backs ball is life. We're doing wide receivers. These are super rookie rankings wide receivers. I'll put that on the screen. So Jerry Jeudy. Super rookie rankings wide receiver. Super rookie wide receiver rankings. Nailed it. Okay, who's number 3? Our options are CeeDee Lamb, obviously. Jefferson. Let me pull up the sleeperu.com rankings so I can make sure I don't miss anybody. Who's our number 2? Is it CeeDee Lamb? I'm going to say it's McLaurin, but that's me. That's me. I like McLaurin. Lamb, Justin Jefferson, Gandy Golden, Ruggs, Claypool. Those are the rookies. I think we're going to have. This is where I think CeeDee Lamb is the only rookie that bumps these other guys, these 2019 guys, down on the list at all. I think these 2019 guys are going to dominate this list. I think we're going to realize, and Deebo. I think we're going to realize that this 2019 class is better than this 2020 class with this exercise. Chark is a great one as well, which wasn't listed in that other conversation that we were having. So I think Lamb's a little too early here. I think it's, let's see. It's going to either be Chark or McLaurin for me. I'm taking in your advice, but I'm going to go Terry McLaurin at number 3. And if you don't like it, you can take a lap. Hollywood's going to come up soon. Oh, yeah, Chark isn't a rookie. That's right. Chark wasn't a rookie. Everybody, even I sometimes think that. And it's not, he was, let's see. Forgot all about Chark. I don't know that was he a rookie? Let's see. Chark. No, Chark, Chark was a sophomore last year, so he's off of this list. Because, guys, the rookies the rookies, this incoming rookie class and last year's rookie class. So 2019, 2018 only. Chark was a rookie in 2018, so he bumps off of this list. He was on it until the new rookie class bumped him off. So third-year players are not in it. So no Chark. No Chark. Chark is a third-year player. He does not qualify. We're not including third-year players, only first and second-year players. So DK, or do we go with CeeDee Lamb? Do we go with Hollywood Brown? Do we go with who do you guys want? It's funny though, a lot of people do think Chark was a rookie last year because he only emerged last year. But he's played 2 years. Hollywood, Metcalf, CD. I'm going to put Hollywood here. And that's going to be for number, what number is this? 4. And a lot of people won't like that, but that's okay. I'm going to put CeeDee Lamb at number 5. Let's move these up. We're running out of real estate. Jeudy is number 2. Terry McLaurin is number 3. Eat it if you don't like it. Suck it. Hollywood Brown, number 4. CeeDee Lamb, number 5. And if you think these are off base, guess what? It's why we play the game. Number 6. For now, I'm putting DK, but we will see. Are we talking about fantasy or talent? We're doing fantasy, man. Fantasy, JP. We're ranking these in terms of the 2020 fantasy output. Dynasty. We're just ranking them in terms of dynasty. Metcalf, we got Deebo. Deebo hasn't been added yet. We got CeeDee Lamb up. Let's see here. Rookie rankings. So we have CeeDee Lamb. I don't think any of these other rookies are going to crack the top 8 or 9 or, Justin Jefferson maybe. I like Andy Golden, but I don't know that other teams do. Let me see if we're missing any sophomore. My final set of super rookie rankings had A.J. Brown, McLaurin and Brown, Cortland Sutton, NKeal Harry, Cortland Sutton. Wasn't Gallup? Or no, Gallup was Sutton's a third year now, so he's off. So my old super rookie rankings were A.J. Brown, Hollywood Brown, McLaurin, and then Sutton was a sophomore. NKeal Harry was a rookie. Gallup was a sophomore. Ridley was a sophomore. DJ Moore was a sophomore. So now my super rookie rankings for 2020, DJ Moore comes off, Ridley comes off, Gallup comes off, Sutton comes off. Those rookies move to the sophomores, and then we pull in the new rookie class. So Sutton's gone. But it'd be interesting to see where you guys rank Sutton if you were to keep him on the list. But he is a third-year player. So Harry, NKeal Harry, and Deebo are the only guys left. Mecole Hardman. And that's about it, I think. So we'll put Deebo. Deebo Samuel. Probably got to make these a tad bit smaller. CeeDee Lamb, number 5. DK Metcalf, number 6. Deebo, number 7. Now, a lot of people are going to be mad about Deebo being there. But, guys, somebody's got to fall. Like, this is my point here. This is a really good sophomore and rookie class when you combine them. Like, it's crazy elite. Like, Deebo, You could make an argument that Deebo's 7 or 4 or 3. Like you can't get mad at someone's rankings by having Deebo at 7 or 3. It's ridiculous that anybody would even get upset, and they will in the comments. Wait, Deebo number 7, you're crazy, Schmitty. Deebo's at number 3, or CeeDee Lamb's the number 1. Like, you could argue any of that. Like, no one knows yet. All I know is this is a freaking elite group of wide receivers. You can build a fantasy dynasty team that can dominate for years and years and years and years, a decade, if you focus on Pat Mahomes and Kittle, or Pat Mahomes and some running backs you think could thrive for a couple years. Let's say you could get Barkley and Mahomes somehow. Trade your second and third rounder. Let's say you get the number 1 or number 2 overall. You take Barkley, and then you get Mahomes in the second round somehow, and you focus on drafting A.J. Brown, Jeudy, and McLaurin, or Jeudy, Hollywood Brown, and CeeDee Lamb, or DK, Deebo, and A.J. Brown. Grab 3 of these guys and don't touch any wide receivers that aren't sophomores or rookies in a dynasty startup, and you dominate for a freaking decade. I mean, it's one of the best strategies in the world in a dynasty startup. So whoever asked me that at the beginning, do you have any dynasty tips for 2020? I'm going into a dynasty startup. Yeah, I've got the strategy of the decade. Go get 3 of these wide receivers, because they'll be had later than a lot of these other wide receivers going in rounds 1 and 2. Go get 3 of these guys and focus on other positions, and get that quarterback that'll be with you for a decade in Pat Mahomes or Lamar. I like Mahomes more than Lamar, but go get Pat Mahomes, go get Elliott. He has definitely a handful of years left, but more so Barkley. Get Barkley, get Mahomes, and stack these guys on your team, and you have a dynasty team that will be so hard to beat for the next 10 years. Take Kittle, says Kyle. That's a good move in a dynasty startup if you were to go like Barkley and Kittle, because of these wide receivers, the value of these guys. I love it. And the value of like a Kareem Hunt later, and get a bunch of those running backs and play that running back sleeper game, the hidden gem running back game. You land a Kareem, let's say Chubb went down in week 6, and you've got Kareem Hunt all year as a top 5 running back. Championship. You may not be able to go to the bank to get your check, because the banks are going to be closed because of the coronavirus, but you can certainly get a digital transfer of your winnings through League Safe or Venmo or whatever. So take it to the digital bank if you get 3 or 4 of these guys on your dynasty roster with Barkley and Mahomes. Say goodbye. Talk about closing down a league. Hey, I've got Mahomes, Barkley, A.J. Brown, Jeudy, and McLaurin. You guys want to play again next year, or are you going to want to leave the league? Oh, that's when you hear 2 or 3 guys go, oh, I've got so much going on. I think I might need to cut back on my fantasy leagues, especially the ones where my team sucks ass. I hate when people quit. They demolish their team. There's no deposit for the future year, and somebody trades their entire team away, and then they give you that, I think I better cut down on my shitty fantasy leagues where I've destroyed my teams and leave all of you hanging. And you have such a good team, I'm leaving. I actually get as much enjoyment shutting down a dynasty league based on what you've built than actually playing it out, to be honest with you. I've shut down a few dynasty leagues, I feel, with my building aggressively approach, and there's nothing more satisfying than watching a league quit and pretend that it's because they're busy, because they don't want to face your team. And this is how you do it. Who are we missing? NKeal Harry. So let me give you a caveat here with NKeal. I'm going to put an asterisk by him, because he is the X factor here. I'll even put him like right here, because he is a unique case. This guy, we don't know where he would go. I'll put him right here. if NKeal Harry, let's see if I can make that a better color. If NKeal Harry is used properly, and let's say they drafted or they traded for Watson in New England, or they bring in, I don't know, Cam Newton. They bring in somebody that can deliver the football to NKeal Harry. NKeal Harry is going to mature rather quickly. NKeal Harry belongs here talent-wise. You know, you could argue him here, but he belongs in this range talent-wise with McLaurin and Jeudy and A.J. Brown, even if he's like here or here or here. But we just don't know what we're dealing with yet. Brown looks ready to go. Brown's ready to rumble. McLaurin's ready to rumble. He's already proven it. A.J. Brown's already proven it. He's ready to unleash himself upon fantasy football greatness this year. He already kind of did it. This guy, we don't know when. We don't know if. We don't know if his team believes in him. He could fall flat on his face and not be really his fault. I think talent will shine through, but we just don't know where to rank him. So just know that this is the X factor here. We don't know where he's going to fit in. Mecole Hardman could also fall in place here. Side note, Walter is up in the pimp draft, hasn't been around in a week. Well, we might have to replace him if he times out. What up, Derek? Paris is going to be better than Harry, in my opinion. I disagree, but Kyle, that's why we play the game. Watch Bill cut Harry. Watch Bill trade Harry on draft day. That would make me probably happy because I feel like he's not using him. Worried about Hollywood staying healthy? No, I'm not. Anything can happen, ball is life. I drafted A.J. Brown, says Kyle, and Ridley, and waited on a wide receiver. Ridley could have a good year. Thoughts on Ruggs? I like Ruggs, but there's a lot of wide receivers in this class, man. I don't know. It depends on where they land. NKeal, or DK, AJ, NKeal, CD is ball is life. I think that's your rank, you're saying. Evans' value went up. JP, a lot of people disagree with you. They think Godwin's value went up and Evans was put to sleep. Go Fant, Hawkinson later. I agree. I think Hawkinson could be totally overlooked in 2020. Very, very good sleeper tight end. Mecole Hardman, 20.7 yards per catch, 4.2 speed, with Sammy Watkins and Demarcus Robinson vacated targets, and the young GOAT tossing him the rock. The young GOAT. He's a steal. The young GOAT. He's like, how old is he? He barely can drink. It's crazy. I think Mahomes will be the greatest fantasy QB. He'll be looked. Kurt Warner might. Kurt Warner probably is going to be hard to overtake. But if anybody can, it will be Patty Mahomes. 5th round in the Pimp League. Sound okay to draft a QB? Yeah, Derek, that won't be a bad spot. I'm okay with that. I'm pretty sure I was the highest on A.J. Brown at the end of last season, but asking price for him is absolutely out of control. I love A.J. Brown, Kyle. You won't find an analyst that has him ranked higher than I do right now. He's 24. Okay, so he's well past his drinking age, but he looks like he's 18 years old. Watch Brady just throw to the running backs. Yeah. Why did they didn't get Melvin Gordon? Damn it. What do you guys think about Melvin Gordon in Denver? I think it's going to be better than we all kind of are thinking. I think our expectations are, he's going to Tampa. He's going to Atlanta. Gurley goes to Atlanta. Okay, well, then he's going to go to Tampa. And then...
No means no.
Then he lands with freaking Denver. But they wouldn't give him all that money if they didn't want to use him. So I'm kind of like coming to the terms with it. And I think it could be okay. I mean, if Lindsey and Freeman weren't there, I'd love it. So I guess ultimately it doesn't boil down to landing spot. It boils down to, will he share the load too much with Lindsey? I don't think he'll share with Freeman. If he shares the rock, it's going to be with one player, not two. I'm not worried about the third guy. But if they plan to give him the rock 18 totes a game, then he's going to explode. Why would Evans' value drop? I'm telling you what other people say. I'm with you. I think Evans' value is better than Godwin's in this, but losing Winston's bad for both, man. Neither one of them go up. Winston threw a ridiculous amount of passes, and I'm not saying that they won't try and do that with Brady, but Brady's going to be a different passer, different rapport. He spreads the ball around a crazy amount. He's going to get O.J. Howard involved. He's going to throw to the running backs more. Brady has a different style. He's not just going to do what they want. He's bringing his own. He's like a mini coach. And if you think that Evans and Godwin can both sustain top 5 to 7 value, they can't. If you think that one will and the other won't, that's possible. But there's a really good chance they both take a little bit of it, or one of them, the better of the two, takes a little bit of a hit. The other one takes a big hit. Derek's, we already talked about that at the beginning of the show. Gurley to Atlanta, what that means, what we think. I don't think he's got it left in the tank, man. No gas. But could he do well for a couple games? Could he do well for half a season? Could he do okay on spot duty and still get 8 touchdowns? Sure. But Brady's a distributor is correct. I think Melvin is... This is what I asked you guys. So Ball's Life is responding. Thank you, Ball's Life. I think Melvin is as good as last year for another year or two. I think Denver could be surprisingly good for him. What do you guys think of the Super Rookie rankings? A.J. Brown, Jerry Jeudy, Terry McLaurin, Hollywood Brown, CeeDee Lamb, DK Metcalf, Deebo Samuel, and NKeal Harry being this wild card. Mecole Hardman. Let's toss Mecole Hardman on it. So 8, Mecole Hardman. He needs to be on it. All right, let's review this again. My Super Rookie rankings are a coined feature at sleeperu.com. And let me tell you a little bit about it. You take the rookie class, the incoming rookie class, you mix it with just the sophomore class. Then you crank out rankings. And that's the only players involved are in the sophomore and rookie classes. So these are the Super Rookie wide receiver rankings. A.J. Brown, Jerry Jeudy, Terry McLaurin, Hollywood Brown, CeeDee Lamb, DK Metcalf, Deebo Samuel, Mecole Hardman. I know you're probably not liking those in its entirety because you have Deebo higher or you have DK number 1 on your list. This is why we play the game. This is my list. I like it. I believe in it. I think A.J. Brown, Jerry Jeudy, Terry McLaurin will be the top 3 from the sophomore and rookie classes when you combine them and you look back 3 years from now. Who's going to be the best for the next 5, 6, 7 years or a decade? CeeDee Lamb could end up climbing into the 2 to 3 spot, but we're also factoring in that this is a dynasty ranking. And in dynasty rankings, you do factor in the win now part of it. And if CeeDee Lamb takes a little while to get going, it makes sense you might rank him lower than McLaurin or Hollywood Brown, even if you eventually feel like Lamb could overtake him. It's kind of all about how you want to approach your dynasty rankings. For me, because McLaurin's ready now, Hollywood Brown's ready now, they're close enough, I'm willing to take them a little bit higher than Lamb. But I love Lamb, and I won't argue with you if you think Lamb is number 3. NKeal Harry, the wild card over on the corner here. Where will he slot in? He's not ranked number 2 here. I just have him over on the side to say, hey, until we know what's what, until we know who's throwing him the football, until we know if they're going to use him, he's a wild card. And he's sitting on the sideline, and we don't know where to slot him. He could be 3, he could be 6, he could be 8. Jefferson and Mims are right here. Landing spots very, very... I guess we could do this at 8. We'll go 8, Hardman, Jefferson, Claypool, Mims. I think that makes sense. I like that. But if you like Super Rookie rankings, get on over to sleeperu.com because I keep these rankings updated, and we'll put this up and do an article about it. But it's a good looking list. I like it. Derek says, I love it, but where's Akers? Let me ask you a question, Derek, and please don't take this the wrong way. Do you see any other running backs on this list at all, Derek? I'll wait for your response. Do you see another run? You love the list, but you don't see any other running backs on it. Where's Jonathan Taylor? Where's J.K. Dobbins? Where? This would be a bad list, man, if this was the entire rookie and sophomore and rookie class list, and it had no J.K. Dobbins, no Jonathan Taylor, no. It's wide receivers, Derek. You're okay, Derek. I'm kidding. It was just funny. Like, I love it, but where's Akers? Normally, I'd get somebody to be like, you idiot. Akers belongs on there. Where's Jonathan Taylor, you moron? But I love it. Derek's positive. He's like, I love it. Fantastic. Where's Akers? Derek, bro fist, bro. Actually, we can't do that, right? Elbows? No, we can't even do that. Virtual bro fist. Don't get too close. Guys, stay safe with this coronavirus. Don't take any chances. Your family members, your loved ones, the people you work with have elderly friends. That's the other thing that pisses me off with this whole coronavirus, like lackadaisical. Should I trade Eckler and Geis for Barkley? Nick, take a lap. This question is the worst question, Nick, you've asked in a couple months. Should I trade Eckler and Geis for Barkley? Of course. Barkley is worth way more than that. That's like asking, should I trade a $20 bill for a $100 bill? And the Geis part of that's adding a quarter to it. I'll give you $20 and a quarter for a $100 bill. Should I do that? Nick, virtual bro fist. What was I saying? Coronavirus. What bothers me is when people say it's not a big deal, we'll be okay, and they don't think about the implications of getting it and going to work for a day or two before you even know you have it. You're carrying this thing, and you give it to somebody that has an elder person that can't get it. Like, if you think about the touch points of that, you get it. Yeah, let's say you don't have any elders in your family and you still have that, oh, it doesn't matter. What if you come in contact with someone, you're carrying it, you give it to them, they go home, they give it to their old grandfather who could barely, breathe as it is, and then that person gets it. You take a lap, Smitty. Why, Nick? Tell you what, Nick, I will take a lap live on air if you can get one person to legitimately agree that Eckler and Geis are even remotely close to Barkley in value in a dynasty trade. If you can get somebody, I will take a lap live on my show. If I believe it's a legitimate yes. What are our two bets, Nick? You said Barkley has to be healthy all year, which is a great stipulation for my side of the bet. Barkley won't be a top 10 running back in 2020 is what Nick told me. And I said, and he said, and if he gets hurt, the bet's off for me. But if he's healthy, and he won't be a top 10 running back, and Nick's going to wear a dress and dress up like, what, Cinderella? What was it? Barkley out of the top 10, and he has to stay healthy for that. Yeah, okay. What was the other bet, Nick? Geis would be a top, was it 5 or top 10 running back? And it was the same bet. He will dress up in a dress. I think it was Geis top 10. which running back would you take? Brady, or which QB would you take? Sorry. Brady, Murray, Wilson, or in the pimp league? I mean, Wilson and Murray, you could argue. Brady's going to be, I don't know if Brady's going to be overvalued by some, undervalued by majority, and fall kind of right where he should be ADP-wise, or people are going to completely write him off. It's funny. I get a lot of people that tell me I'm crazy, like Cinderella, that's right. A lot of people tell me I'm crazy for liking Brady more than they do, but how do you not like him with Godwin, Evans? But I don't think I take him in a dynasty league. You don't touch him near the third round. I think you wait a long time before you start taking Brady, bro. So in the pimp league, don't go near him. But in terms of like just making him your starter later, Brady is a damn fine pick. Murray's a great. Oh, the pimp league isn't dynasty. I'm sorry. Murray, Wilson are probably ranked a good, 3 rounds ahead of Brady, I imagine. But I could be wrong, man. People might be all over Brady. I might have that wrong. I might have the temperature wrong on that. But yeah, Murray, you know my answer to that. Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is my number 3 QB in 2020. It's just not even close. You could argue Russell Wilson. I wouldn't call you crazy if you had Russell Wilson 3 and Kyler 4. But Burrow says, Dynasty, I was offered Mixon and Mahomes for Lamar Jackson and Kamara. Damn. There's no way you could leave Mixon and Kamara out of that. And you were offered Mixon and Mahomes. Yeah, I mean, probably rather have for 1 year Lamar and Kamara, but I want Mahomes more than I want Lamar. Lamar's going to get hurt at some point, so I just can't trade Mahomes. But I try everything I can to trade Mixon for Kamara, give up something and keep Mahomes. That would be my advice. How would you like your team if you had Lamar, CMC, Barkley, but not a lot of better options? Nick, I've got videos on this, man. You know how I feel about this. This is my favorite strategy. Go get CMC, Barkley, and even if you don't get Lamar, you get Kyler Murray and a bunch of wide receivers. You probably could squeeze out a McLaurin or a Hollywood Brown in there, and it's my favorite draft strategy. So you know that, Nick. You're asking me my favorite draft strategy, and you get me excited. You get me excited, Nick. That's my favorite draft strategy. You're dangling it in front of my face. Now I got to go do a mock draft and use it. MT, imagine Hopkins learning from Fitz. Yeah, that's going to be not nice. Although I don't know, Hopkins has a lot to learn. I mean, he could definitely learn something from Fitz, but I don't know that Hopkins is. Maybe he will look at it like that. He probably will. He's smart enough. I think he's humble enough. He's cocky, but I think he's also humble at the same time, and he's giving. Hopkins is a pretty good dude, but it's funny. Like they ask him, like, who's the best receiver in the league? He's like, me. Remember that clip of what was it? Was it a Cardinals coach, or who was it? Was it a Cardinals coach that said that? I think it was a Cardinals coach that said that. It's like, you're the best in the league. He's like, he went over on the sideline. He's like, they said I was the best in the league. I was like, I know. But yeah, he's going to learn a little bit. Do you think new coaching staff is going to hurt CMC's production? It could. It's not a great thing. Why would you want, not saying you, but why would anybody want change when you're doing so well? So I'm a little bit worried about CMC. I'm not drafting CMC, says Augie. I feel regression coming. I'll take Barkley at 1. I agree with you, Augie. I don't know that I feel like he's a bust or regression's crazy in the cards, but I think overworked for sure. Nick, but the problem is I have 150 left without Barkley, but if I trade Geis and Eckler, then I have 80 left. I don't care, man. Barkley, CMC, Lamar, and just get 1 or 2 wide receivers and work the sleeper approach with wide receivers, and you'll be fine. It's worth trying in one league. I'll tell you that. I would love to have that in one league. All right, guys. That is an hour show already. God, things go quick. I appreciate every one of you. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Like the video on your way out the door, please. Share. Tell your friends. And I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you.